Hey guys, Dark Prometheus here in our Week 10 news and scouting. Got some bad news. We're going to look at our injury report. This is where we're going to start. Cutler has suffered an abdominal tear and will be out 2 weeks. Eddie Royal has suffered a shoulder tear and will be out 3 weeks. So what that means is we are going to cut Demontre Hurst, my bad. And we are going to look at a new quarterback and to bring in a third quarterback, possibly. We might have to bring in another receiver at the moment. We might have someone else on the roster that we're capable of cutting. I want to keep Dunn. I hate how we have to keep a defensive tackle and can't use any of our linemen. I want to keep our middle linebackers and our outside linebackers. I think what we're going to do ultimately is we're going to go with our receivers. Marquise Wilson, we're going to put Josh Bellamy, Cameron Meredith. We're going to survive with this. So looking at the quarterbacks, Johnny Manziel's out here, Christian Ponder. Josh McCown is out here. Josh Johnson, Brady Quinn. We need someone that can just come in here, sit back, and who we know. I wish we had practice squads on here so we can have practice squads and simulate that. Hopefully that gets more reasonable. We're going to bring in Shane Carden. We're familiar with his style. We're familiar with his play. He will be the third quarterback on this team. So he'll be the third one. Cutler's going to be out. Furthermore, a receiver. We'll have Marquise Wilson, Bellamy. Eddie Royal's going to be out. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put Royal right there. Just for shits and giggles. But he's going to be hurt. So. From there. We had an abysmal game. It wasn't the sliders. I know that for a fact. Because I ended up having to play the game twice. Because the game pretty much died on it. One thing I am going to fix is the time limit. I think we're good now with these sliders. Also, on the sliders themselves is roughing the passer. I turned it down. I think I'm just going to put it at 50. 55 is a little bit too much on these sliders. But as of right now, the Packers 6-2. We're 5-3, tied with the 5-3 Lions, and the Vikings are 1-7. So we need to put it on. We've already played the Packers once. We edged them out. So they're technically a half game ahead of us. The Lions, we've played once. We beat them. We're a half game ahead of them. To finish out the season, we don't have an easy schedule these next upcoming games. We go to St. Louis. Good front seven. You got Aaron Donald, James Laurinaitis. You got Alec Ogletree. You're going with Tremaine Johnson. You got some good players over there in St. Louis. And they have their new quarterback in Nick Foles with Tavon Austin. And their new running back with Todd Gurley. Then we go to see Peyton Manning. Or actually, Peyton Manning comes to us in Chicago. That's going to be a big one. Then we play Aaron Rodgers. Then we play the 49ers, who defensively may have fallen off a little bit, but offensively they still have some weapons. And if we couldn't stop Melvin Gordon, we're going to have some issues against Carlos Hyde. Then we can't relax because this is week 14. There's 4 games left in the season, and in their games we got to win. So the Redskins come to Chicago. Dynamic offense. You got Deshaun Jackson over there, speedster, and we really don't have any big corners that can do much. You saw Stevie Johnson all day long, just catching passes. It didn't matter who was on him. And ultimately, we will bench Alan Ball, and we'll put Morris Claiborne, who's been here a couple weeks, getting used to the system. We're gonna stick him in that fourth corner spot, and Sherrick McManis is gonna take that third corner spot now. Then we go to Minnesota, to the 1-7 Minnesota, but we can't underestimate them. I mean, Barr's a good linebacker. They did have AP hurt, so it took out some of their dynamic, but we escaped with a win coming through against the Vikings. Then we go to Tampa. Tampa's going to be a big thing. Lovie Smith is over there creating a dynasty on defense, trying to build some identities. So we're going to play a lot of defensive Bears players in Tampa. Then we end with the Lions, who we're tied with, which would be a big game. So we got a difficult schedule ahead of us. So let's look if we have any draft stories. Yeah, we lost 42-16. So Virgil Duncan, right guard, his most consecutive starts with 50, which means, he long-time starter. So we might have to look at Virgil Duncan. Let's see what he's at. So we'll have to remember that. As we're going to go into stats, we're going to look at the awards, weekly awards. Week 9, Colin Kaepernick, 17-27, 302 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, took 2 sacks, only got 26 rushing yards. On AFC offense, of course, it's Phillip Rivers passing on us all day. 20 of 23, 309 for 4 touchdowns, and then he also rushed for a touchdown. NFC defense, as I said, here's Barr. 8 tackles, 2 forced fumbles, 1 fumble recovery. Looking at A.J. Hawk and his new team over with the Bengals. 11 tackles, 2 interceptions. So we're not going to have our work cut out for us. So let's do a little scouting. Actually, first, before I forget, I've made some changes. So we're going to have Jimmy Clausen start. Sherrick McManis is here. Mitchell's there. He's been benched completely. We're done. Alan Ball unless there's injuries, he's not going to touch this field. Actually, what I'm also going to do is if you give me something like this, Sheriff McManis is going to be right here. So if Sheriff McManis comes out here, it will end up being Claiborne in the slot. Alright, I can deal with that. Alright, so let's look at our college scouting. He's a right guard, Virgil Duncan, first round draft pick. Look at this. Jarius Ford is already saying he's not even going to be drafted. That's what they're saying now. That's crazy. So Virgil Duncan, B run block, toughness, impact block. They say he's going to be a late first rounder. I don't know. We'll have to see. Honestly, I'd rather take a right tackle than that, or a left tackle. We're going to get the rest of Sam Parker's. Ooh, that looks ugly. He's a developmental player. Okay, we're going to field more of corners. So Quincy Pruitt, 5'11", 194 pounds. Zone type. Obviously, he's got to be good at zone. Ooh. Ooh, look at, ooh. He might be a prospect to look at in the future. So Junior McNeil, Tennessee. Run support, attacking 3-4, good press, good zone. Here it is. Second round pick, first round talent. That'll be a sleeper. He's said to be a 7th round pick. Yeah, I would agree with that. So Boise State, Tyler Walker, run support. He's 5'10", scrappy little guy. I mean, you're going to want him up in the box. I mean, 4th round pick. Yeah, that makes sense. Let's look at... Let's look at John McNeil. 5'11", 200, Penn State, playmaker, free safety. Maybe we can move him around. Catching, hit power, pursuit. He's definitely number 1 pick. I don't know how high we're going to have. Antoine Bryan. Zone blitz from Charleston State. I can't look at him. I have 2 scouting points left. Alright, guys. So that was a quick down and dirty video. I mean, week 10. We're going to the 3-5 Rams. We're 5-3. We got to perform here. We got to play. We're going to have to rely on Forte, some short passes, some screens, in this big running game, because that's all we got right now. We don't have the dynamic play of Cutler. We're gonna have to lean on Jeffrey, definitely Marquise Wilson. We're gonna have to rely on our line to block, because we're going out there with a depleted team, essentially. And we need to go out there and play. So thank you all for joining me. And I will see you guys next time.